All right, let's talk about this absolute ridiculousness going on, mostly in Minnesota. Why is it mostly in Minnesota? Do you notice that? ICE is all over the country right now, whether you want to believe it or not. But the murders and the drama is all happening in Minnesota. Can I get a fraud? Fraud for 100, Alex? Fraud. They're trying to cover up the fraud, the Somali fraud. Yeah. To me, that's obvious. I don't know. So whether 50% of the protesters are paid or not, doesn't really matter. No, because even people online are acting absolutely ridiculous, including the protesters. Whether they are paid or not, they're acting ridiculous. Liberals think we are at war. They think we are at war. Just think about that for a second. And maybe they're at war, but they've been at war with themselves for quite a long time. They're on many SSRIs. They're in a war in their own mind. That's where their war is. I'm not at a war. Most people I know are not at war. Most people I know are at work. So it's like the theater kids from 2004 grew up, never really gained much purpose in their life, and they think they're in some sort of a Marvel action hero movie, and they're the main protagonist, and they take it so seriously, and it's like really, it's cringe beyond cringe. And like, I just want to let you know, if you're a liberal watching this, like, we're just laughing at you. Like, we're laughing. Like, I don't laugh at death. I will never laugh at somebody who has tragically died for this joke. Because that's what this is, it's just a sick joke. But I will say, you put yourself in that position. So, actions have consequences. I'm walking through the snow right now. It's real thick, so bear with me here. Welcome to Treu Sovereignty, where we are mastering our minds so we can reclaim our peace. On this channel, we intertwine self-improvement with critical thinking, because you can't have one without the other. How do you expect to understand this world that can be confusing, that is made to be confusing, if you can't even understand yourself? Which is also a tad confusing at times. Can we all agree? Yeah. So that's what I do on this channel. I teach you how to have inner peace in a chaotic world, and how to kind of separate yourself while still having opinions on what is happening around you. So that's what we do on this channel. If you like this type of stuff, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I am a new content creator here, so that would definitely be much appreciated. Follow me on my socials, and let's get into this video. So this is kind of why I don't fit into any type of a group, because I do truly have my own thoughts about things, and a lot of my thoughts are very nuanced. The simplistic-minded person would put me into a box, like MAGA, libertarian, anarchist. Nobody would say I'm liberal, but who knows, maybe a MAGA would say I'm liberal just because I'm gay. But despite all that, I feel I identify more so with anarchist. But even in the anarchist libertarian community, you will find dickheads who are so fucking, their brains are so fucking far up their asses that they can't put their hand up there to grab it. Just for 1 second. Grab your fucking brain. We do need law and order. There, I said it. We need law and order. Maybe not how it is now with a bunch of psychopathic billionaire pedophiles in office, or, you know, a bunch of cops running around that only have 6 months of training and little to no psych evaluations. Sure. Do we need improvements? Yeah. Do we need maybe less cooks in the kitchen? Yeah. But just because I think we need law and order does not mean I'm a bootlicker or that I'm an idiot. People are crazy, okay? And the one thing that I fear about the world ending, if the world ever did end, is that people would go crazy. Why? Because there wouldn't be law and order. There was an expert who said, if the world ended, if it like went to shit, like grid went down, most people would die, not because of starvation, not because of thirst, or anything that you could think of. It would be because people are killing other people. And I believe him. I believe him. So I support ICE. Oops, I said it. I support ICE. I do. This administration was voted into office, although I don't necessarily believe voting is real. I'm still not 100% sure about that. But for now, voting is claimed to be real. And I'll just say this lightly. This administration was voted into office under the promise, under the campaign, that he would take care of the immigration problem. And immigration is a problem. Illegal immigration is a problem. We don't have to wonder about that. We can look at countries like the UK and France and Italy and look at their illegal immigration problem, or even some of it is legal, but it's just overdone. It's just too much. And we can look, and their streets are trashed. They have problem with stealing. They have problem with pickpocketers, scammers, rapists. And all that has risen since legal and illegal immigration has taken place. Immigration is fantastic. Is the USA built on immigration? Technically, yes, from hundreds of years ago, sure. But now we have regulations for that, you know? The USA is filled. Now we have born citizens, people who were literally born on this turf, who deserve first come, first serve type of deals. And that's not what's happening. USA veterans are being treated like trash, while illegal immigrants are being given free debit cards, free places to live, you know, jobs under the table, while we just let our homeless veterans rot on the street. And I think that's disgusting. So I do think immigration, if overdone, can be a problem, but I think illegal immigration is a horrific issue. Now, I've traveled the world, okay? Mostly to third world countries. Some of the times these people can be kind, but these people don't have the same, they were not raised the way that we were in the USA. They don't have the same culture, the same mannerisms, the same etiquette, the same values, the same morals. Certain cultures do not mix well. The truth is, some people are just not going to blend well into a culture like USA. USA is very open, right? Sexual freedom, liberation, freedom, sexuality, different colors, different cultures. Not every culture is like that, especially the Muslim religion. It doesn't treat women very well. They don't like gays. They're not open to trans people. You know, USA is. and they are not. Even Latin American cultures are not open to gay people. Believe me, I dated a Latin American woman and she couldn't even tell her parents about me. Some cultures don't blend well, and why legal immigration can work when it comes to regulation, heavy regulation, is because you essentially bring these people in slowly and you make them prove that they are going to respect your culture. They're going to learn the language. They're going to respect your people. Even if you disagree, you kind of make them promise, and they go through like multiple interviews and take multiple tests about the history of the United States. That's the process. And then of course you pay money to get your visa, of course. I'm familiar with these things. I've lived in other countries. Every single country has immigration laws, rules, and regulations. This is nothing new. ICE has been around since 2003. This is not a new thing. They're just trying to make it seem like it's a new thing. The left is leaning on feelings, right? Well, I care about these people and they're our neighbors. Or some people will recite these weird Bible verses. I care about logic and reality, and the reality is not every single culture can assimilate with a super free-thinking culture like the USA. Some cultures are still stuck where the USA was stuck 300 years ago, okay? Some cultures are still there. They have not caught up to the open-mindedness of the USA. And that is something that is a logical fact, and that could become very troubling for people who have to live next to these people and get harassed on the street, or the men that don't respect women that end up sexually assaulting the women. It doesn't work when it's unregulated and when it's treated like a fucking free-for-all. Like, immigration is some perfect utopia answer to humanitarian values. It's not. People, I'm starting to believe people are inherently bad and that either their religion or their taught morals are what make them, are what keep them from doing bad things, or what I think we should have, which is law and order, consequences. I do think that there is a twinge of truth to that people are ever so slightly inherently bad. And no, I don't like to say that because I do believe in humanitarian values. But if I go to another country, the reason I am humanitarian, and my proof of that is I'm going to respect that culture. I'm not going to go in and just be, I'm American. I'm going to do whatever I want because I'm an American. No. I'm going to assimilate to that culture, even if I'm only there for a few days. I'm going to get my visa. I'm going to pay my fees. I got my passport. I'm going to respect the people. If I'm in a Muslim country, am I going to walk around with a skimpy bikini? No. If I'm going to get yelled at or looked at like I'm a crazy person in a Muslim country, I'm going to wear pants, long sleeves, whatever I need to wear in order to respect their culture, because it's not my country. It's their country. They live there, not me. To me, those are humanitarian values. Liberals are like, I'm a humanitarian. When you let people who are not of our culture into our country, you are hurting the people of that country. That's not humanitarian. That's stupidity and foolishness. all in the name of looking kind, all in the name of being a good, righteous person. ICE is not perfect. Nobody's claiming that they are. These are people that are trained to literally go in and take illegal immigrants and put them in a jail cell. That's all they're trained to do, really. Maybe they have gun training, maybe they have some combat training. If they're like originally a military guy, or whatever they are, Muay Thai trainers. I don't know what ICE people are typically are. I'm assuming that some of them are police officers, some of them are military people, but they're literally trained to do one job, and that's take illegal criminals, which they are inherently criminals because they're here illegally. They have disrespected your land. They've disrespected you. You were born here. This is your land. I don't care if your ancestor stole land. Every land is stolen. The fact is, you came out of your mom's vagina on this land, so it is your land. Claim it. Be proud of it. Here's the thing. ICE agents were trained to have one job. They weren't trained to hold your hand and de-escalate and be your mommy like police officers are, right? Police officers are trained to de-escalate. Police officers are trained to deal with people who are being rowdy. ICE agents are not trained for that, because that's not their job. Why do you think that some of these guys have been maybe a little off the rocker? Maybe shooting at the wrong time. Maybe shooting at the wrong guy. Maybe pissed off with anger issues. Because they're not trained to deal with a mob of annoying idiots blowing whistles. That's why. They're trained to get illegal immigrants and put them in a jail cell. From A to B. That's what they're trained for. They're not trained to deal with your dumb ass. So if they mishandle dealing with your dumb ass, that's on you, buddy. That's on you. I never mock or celebrate the death of anybody. I try not to speak badly of the dead out of mere respect, mostly for their family, not necessarily for them, but mostly for their family. But look at it like this. Right now, the kill ratio of ICE to protester is what now, like 9 to 0. 9 to 0. No protester has ever killed an ICE officer. One got a finger bitten off. But no protester has ever killed an officer. But an officer has killed protesters. You know what that means to me? As a human with a sound mind? Get out of their fucking way. Get out of their way. Let them do their job. If we just let ICE into our cities for 2 weeks or a month, however long this takes, and there were no protesters and there were no agitators and there were no provokers, they'd be in and out. We wouldn't even know that they had been there. We wouldn't even know that they had been there. The reason why people are getting killed is because they are placing themselves on the line of fire. Whether these people are paid. If I were a paid protester, I'd just be standing like back here and be like, yo, bro, I know I'm getting paid $30 an hour just to be here, and I'll blow my whistle every few minutes. But these guys are literally getting in the face of ICE. Alex Preddy. This is not often talked about, but days before he got murdered, rest in peace, days before he unfortunately passed on, he was out there and he had gotten into a scuffle with one of the ICE officers, and he even broke a fucking rib. So he comes back out with a fucking gun. A gun. No, he wasn't pointing the gun. He wasn't going for the gun. but he had a gun. You don't bring a gun to a peaceful protest. These people are not peaceful. You don't get a rib broken at a peaceful protest either. The reason why ICE needs to spray people with pepper spray or throw flashbangs or carry guns is because you're getting in their way. They have a job to do. They have a job to do. You need to let it happen. This is not your business. It's not your business. Stay out of it. This is not your place. This is serious. When Renee Good unfortunately got shot and passed away, her girlfriend, her wife, whatever she was, literally said, "Why were you using real bullets?" These people think that they're playing a game. These people think that ICE are not going to kill you. They're going to kill you. If you get in their way, if you spit on their face, if you touch them. So I mentioned the ratio. Oh, well, by the way, some of these liberals are even going on social media saying, we might die. We need to be kamikaze because, oh my God, they're saying things like, well, all of our lives are over now. Why? Our lives are over now. We might as well die for the cause. How? How's your life over now? Are you an immigrant? Are you an illegal immigrant? No? Okay. This will be over in a couple months if you just let them do their job. So I mentioned the 9-to-0 kill ratio. If you have any semblance of a brain, that would be like, you know, nobody's gonna jump out of a fucking plane if only 50% of the time your parachute's gonna release. That skydiving wouldn't be a sport if they couldn't figure out how to release a parachute more than 50% of the time. Nobody would be doing skydiving at that point, right? So why are you going out in the streets? Protesting, agitating, not just protesting, agitating these ICE officers when their kill ratio is 9-to-0. They're winning. In a video game, which I'm assuming all of these protesters are just video game addicts, because that's what they're acting like. Did you see the girl who caught the flashbang? She was like, medic, medic, medic. Like she's in a fucking Warzone video game. There's no medic coming for you. This isn't, this isn't World War II, people. They think they're in World War II, but they're not. They're in their own little minds. I also saw a video talking about how there are literal social media social contagions, and I think this is one of them. I think, well, they were using the Tourette's outbreak as an example for a social contagion that happened when, like, TikTok first came out. There was, like, this mass surge of young girls who had Tourette's all of a sudden, and it's because this one YouTuber got big off of showing their experience having Tourette's. It's a mass social contagion. Another one would be trans kids. That's a mass social contagion. It's not real. This is a mass social media social contagion of the mind, and only the weakest will fall for it. And unfortunately, women fall for it the easiest. Women will fall for things so easily if it has to do with feelings and my heartstrings. It's silly. It's like women were not taught to have discernment at all. It's sad. It's really sad. Like, everybody thinks we're living in a Disney movie. Don't even get me started on liberal men. there were a couple studies that came out that liberals are more likely to have the dark triad, and that's narcissism, psychopathy, sociopathy. Liberals are more likely to have the dark triad traits. Don't even get me started on liberal men. Liberal men are feminized men, possibly raised by single moms who were man-haters. That's all I can, I don't have any studies on that, but that's really the only conclusion I can come to, because anytime I try to have a productive conversation with a liberal man, it goes way too emotional. They get way too emotional. I cannot bring up facts, logic, rationality, and they act like I have no idea. They have no idea what I'm talking about. And they bring up, well, I'm just a liberal because I care about others. Fuck off, man. Fuck off with your fucking female virtue signaling. So my advice to the protesters finding themselves getting hurt, getting killed, it's your fault. It's your fault. Stay home. Staying home saves lives. Remember that fucking slogan you shoved down our fucking throats during COVID? Whatever happened to that? You say ICE is a bunch of Gestapo, martial law, police state agents, but yet that's what you tried to do during COVID. You tried to make this a police state, a medical police state, where you told on your neighbors when they weren't wearing a mask or when they were taking a walk outside. And now it's the opposite. What do you want? Do you want to be bent over by your government? Or do you not want to be bent over by your government? I'm so confused. Trump was president during COVID too. Where was your Trump derangement syndrome then? Where was it? It's here now and it's full force. Yeah, you fuck around, you find out, unfortunately. It's not like I don't have sympathy for these people, but it's hard to have any type of full sympathy for these people when they walked into it themselves. When they saw what happened to Renee, when they've seen what's been happening to protesters, and they still went anyway. I feel bad, but it's more like a pity. Like, I pity the fact that they thought that their lives were that terrible, that they felt they needed to go out and defend pedophilic criminals, rapists, murderers. Theft. People who come into a country illegally and immediately, fundamentally disrespect you in your country. You think you have to go out and defend these people. To me, that's a sad person who does not have any semblance of clear thought, any idea of who they are, truly, no respect for themselves, almost maybe a self-hatred. No land is stolen on nobody's illegal on stolen land. You really have no respect for yourself. A country collapses when people lose sight of their patriotism. And I'm not all gung-ho patriotic. I'm not like that either. But I know I was born on this land, and I know I have a first say in what happens on this land. I came out of a vagina on this land, so therefore here I am, bitch. And to the people who think like ICE is going to be a police state, which is mostly anarchist, libertarians, and of course liberals, you guys are idiots. You guys are idiots. No, this is not martial law. This is not a police state. This is what has been voted for. People voted for this. This was voted for. This is something that the majority of the United States of America, the United States citizens want. Most of us want this. Whether you want to believe it or not, we signed up for this. So the fact that you're acting all shocked now isn't going to help you. And it's not going to change anything because they're going to continue to do their jobs. They're not coming after citizens unless you're in their way. And then they're going to be gone. A few months will go by, they'll be gone. Bye-bye. It'll be done. So, no, this is not a police state. If I think that we are under attack from a police state, I will let you know. I'll let you know. But for now, you can rest easy at night as long as you have your papers. Yeah. It's plain and simple, folks. You ever heard of Occam's razor? The simplest answer is likely the conclusion. The simplest something, something like that. It's simple, folks. It's not complicated. Don't complicate it to more than what it has to be. This is not Nazi Germany. They're not going after their own citizens. ICE is on our side. They have said it. They have stated it. They're on our side. They're just like you and me, except they signed up for this shit. That's all it is. They have families too. They are people too. And liberals are coming out on social media saying, we should poison them with syringes. Yeah, so you want to kill... These people are also innocent. You realize that. They're doing a civic duty that the people have voted for. They're doing a civic duty. That would be like going after, you know, the fucking homeless veterans on the street because they fought for America. And you hate America, so now you're just gonna poison all the homeless veterans on the street with a syringe. You're an idiot and you're sick. You're sick and twisted. Because I'm not over here on my social media saying we should kill all the idiot liberals. We should kill them and poison them. I'm not saying that just because I fucking don't agree with you and your stupid ass. You guys celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk and Ashley Babbitt. You guys celebrate death. Ain't nobody over here celebrating death. One of my Facebook friends, she's like, she posted something, don't let them gaslight you into thinking you didn't witness a murder. Literally, a few months before, she posted a meme mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. So I commented, because I had commented on the previous post as well, asking if she was pro-murder, and she said, sure. And then I told her how disgusting she was. So on this new post, I said, wait a second. I thought you were pro-murder. These people they don't know who they are. They don't have any principles. They don't have any consistent ideas or opinions. These people are wacky. It is the woke mind virus because it is a mind virus. These people are sick. Where are the institutions? I don't know what it is. The COVID shot, the SSRIs, the water. What is going on? Because yes, you could argue this is staged and it's just happening in Minnesota to cover up the fraud. Sure. I would say maybe like 50% of that is true. But the other half is real. Like there are real people who are not getting paid who think these ways, who are acting like this. Grown-ass adults. Acting like crazy baboons. Anyway, you can tell I'm all heated about this. Because to me, the answer is clear. It is so clear. Because I still live in reality, unlike these people. And that is why I'm so heated, because I feel like I'm living in a fucking sea of idiots. Do you feel the same way? It's like, yes, I feel bad that a human has died over this. But it's the same, like, I feel bad that somebody died the same way as if, like, a person was drunk out of their mind and they walked into traffic on a busy highway. It's like, of course I feel bad that a human died. But you were drunk and you walked into traffic. Or you were drunk and you got into your car and you drove. It's like that kind of bad feeling. Where it's like, yeah, people shouldn't have to die, but also they put themselves there. They were irresponsible with their own lives. And they did something stupid. And actions have consequences, and that's what you learn in adulthood. Anyway, do you feel the same way? You know, feel free to comment down below. I know there's even more divisiveness happening even now. I feel like we're being divided even further and further and further. Like, anarchists and libertarians aren't even agreeing with each other. Some MAGA people aren't even agreeing with each other. And of course, liberals never fucking agree with each other, so... I mean, I've always been on my own island over here anyway. I mean, the important thing is I don't want to lose subscribers, but I'm not here to, like, offend people necessarily, but this is what I think, and I don't ever want to lie about what I think and how I think. And this is what I think. This is just my thought process, and I think it's very logical. I think it's very clear that they're here to do a job, and they just need to be let alone to do their job, and they're going to get their job done. And we're going to have less immigrants, less illegal immigrants, less crime, more peace in our neighborhoods, more peace in our country. And we're going to make an example of these people, of these illegal immigrants, and we're going to say, look, if you come into our country, you're going to have to face ICE. You're going to have to face these officers that are specifically trained to take you out of the country. You know, and these people are being offered free flights home. Free flights back to their home. They're not being put on a ship where they don't get any food or water for like 20 days, you know? It's like, they're not being tortured. It's like, just go home. Go home and come back and try again. Next time, do it legally. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. If you like this type of content, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know we're always doing the hard truths over here, people. Just logic. There's no emotion in this. It's just logic, because we need that. We need that right now. We need intelligent people who are willing to speak the truth, even if that means you're going to be standing alone on your own island. It's okay. You can stand alone on the island with me. But in the meantime, I will see you in the next video.